It was at this moment that he knew.
He bucked up. Welcome. You're listening to Bucked Up with Sam Buck.
You can't hear the intro, but I can, and I enjoy it.
Now you fucked up.
Don't look at me like that, Sydney.
You have fucked up now.
Get your SpongeBob. The disrespect on my show. Sydney's already on her phone, and Julio has his socks on. This is disrespectful. Welcome to Bucked Up. This is going to be a Bucked Up episode. I have three of my best friends in the world from college that I met. Julio Castillo, which you guys might have known. He was already on an episode. We got Kiana Taylor, who we lived together senior year, unfortunately. And then Sydney Littlejohn, and she lived next to us. And we were like we were friends since fucking freshman year of college.
Token white friend.
I was the token white friend, yeah. That's
It's like literally like I saw, just like last night when we were walking to the beach. You see how it's just like a de-escalating shade leading up to Sam. You got the
we didn't even do that on purpose.
Why don't we do this? It's like
we always naturally sit like
this. Subconscious.
Yeah.
Like what, the darkest to the lightest. That's crazy, man.
But you got the whitest shirt on. You got a Pulp Fiction t-shirt on, which is like, that's the whitest movie in the world.
But when white people, when people of color shop for shirts that are white people movies, they wear it just to wear it. Not even to just, not to like.
They never saw it.
Have you ever seen the movie?
You know what I'm saying? I never seen Pulp Fiction.
shirt on.
Have you ever seen the movie?
Never.
You've never seen Pulp Fiction?
I've never seen Pulp Fiction. And I just have
Are we going
shirt.
to watch that tonight?
We have to.
I also do have to say we all did get COVID tested.
Yes.
We were good before the
What?
what are you mouthing to the audience?
That I'm not positive.
We all were negative.
Okay.
Yeah, we all got, and Kiana was like, you better send your fucking, you better send
Honestly,
your
we thought
fucking
you were gonna
picture.
lie.
Drill
'Cause you,
sergeant.
like,
It was a
posted picture of the
possibility.
outside of the clinic. We were like,
They
he
did
definitely
that
didn't even go
outside.
in.
No, they did it outside. The doctor came up to my car.
Oh, it was the drive-thru.
No, he came up, and then as I was pulling out, I hit an orange cone, and then I just waved goodbye and drove off. And I swear to God, a thought passed my mind where I was like, he's gonna give me a positive just because I hit that cone.
I really finessed the front of the line when I went to get COVID tested, and I did not have to pay a single dollar.
Do you want to tell this? Because I have to. Rule number 3 of this podcast is no snitching.
I'm not snitching on myself.
Okay, will you turn that light off right there?
Snitching.
No snitching. Yeah, you can't snitch.
No, I'm not snitching.
No snitching on this
Not snitching.
podcast.
So basically, wink, wink, I came in contact with a student who had COVID-19. So then it
I'm
wasn't
glad you're
urgent.
just now letting us know this.
It was an urgent matter.
He's snitching on himself.
I'm not
He
snitching
lied.
on myself.
Like,
I'm not lying. I'm not
Let me
lying.
take a drink.
I'm not lying. But anyway, they moved me to the front of the line. And next thing you know, I get the result negative a day later.
You're saying, okay.
I got moved to the front of the line. Yes.
Oh.
I didn't really, you didn't see me.
No, I'm just a little slow.
How was you hated it? You were like,
I've been COVID tested twice now.
Exactly.
And the first time it was for my surgery. And obviously it came back negative. And then
obviously.
I mean, I had the surgery. I mean,
That's true.
anyway, and it was a drive-through, and that was like they did both sides of your nostril.
Oh no!
But it wasn't terrible. Like it just felt like a tickle. I kind of like teared up, and then but this time when I went, I like had to go inside, and like she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna hold the back of your neck because some people I don't want you to get a concussion because some people like
They want you to
And
deep
you were
nos-
like, trust me, I've had practice.
deep nostril that specimen.
Anyway, it was so painful the second time. I was like, wow, this better be the last time I get a test.
I moaned when that
I've
happened.
gotten tested 3 times and I've done it myself each time.
Yeah, so you
and
probably
it was-
didn't even
Why
do it
do you
right.
ask that? Do you,
Like, what if you messed up,
They're
bro?
just like, here, do
do you have like small nostril? You do have a small nose.
She has a small
I don't
face.
You're like a little bunny rabbit.
She's
You know, how, like
cute.
you know, how, like niggas do this to like say I crush in your face. I don't even have to like back out to do that. It's really
I know, I have a
Okay,
small
hi,
head.
sorry.
person sitting right here,
Sorry.
We were all tested. We can be close.
Right.
violating my space. Well, anyway.
Oh,
No.
this is.
No.
And I do want to give a special shout out to we have a listener on right now, someone who couldn't be here.
She's TikTok famous.
She's TikTok.
She's
She's the
almost a
only
lawyer.
one I really wanted on the podcast. I just had to deal with you
I haven't
guys.
been on it, so suck my dick.
Genesis Maldonado.
Hi, Jen.
Henny Roc.
She's
love you.
Henny
Miss
Roc.
you.
She's also an amazing person. She's in law school right now. Impressive. What are
Smart
y'all doing
cookie.
with your lives?
Excuse me.
I work in education, sir.
I know. I was asking you a serious question.
I thought you asked me in a
What-
judgmental way. I was like, sir, I am
We
shaping
already
America's
know what
future.
Julio does. If you guys want to know about Julio, go watch his episode. Like,
Kiana
See,
watched
I'm
it
not
a
even.
couple
I don't even have
times.
to advertise myself. You see that?
Wait,
You
what?
see that?
I said you
see
watched
that?
it a couple times.
I watched it one time and skipped through some stuff. Sorry.
But you're still advertising my episode, though, so that's crazy. So thank you. Anyway,
But we are friends.
That's
Maybe
exactly
like the most basic level, but like
It's because you don't follow me on IG.
I'm not
We can't
going.
even-
We're not gonna go into it.
We can get into
We're-
this.
we're
We can
not
get
gonna
into
go
this.
into
They
it
don't
because
follow each
it's
other on
snitching.
social.
I don't want to snitch on him.
You can snitch.
This is like personal information.
Okay. If you
So-
guys want to talk about this, then I'll just be the Maury of this episode. And Cindy will we'll just give each other looks while you guys.
No,
Mhm.
moral of the story is we're all really close, and we have been friends for like what is it, 5 years now?
5
6.
years, 6.
6?
Because
about-
we met the summer before it started.
Oh, that's right.
Mhm.
Okay, so it's been wow.
Almost 6 years.
Almost 6 years, and me and Julio don't follow each other on social media, and that is the story for it.
I have a drop where it goes boom, 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 and you guys can't hear it, but I
Yeah,
can.
that is the whole story within itself, but it's fine.
I will follow.
It's
I will follow
okay.
you right now, though.
But
Will you?
But
That
we
would
had
be.
a whole conversation.
Will
about
you
it. He said
follow
he
each other
wouldn't.
on Instagram
follow you
live on my
right
now.
show?
I will. I
No.
will. I will. I don't give a
Julio's
fuck.
doing.
I'll put my pride
Guys, this
aside.
is
I'll put my pride
I don't
crazy.
care about Instagram.
No,
I was
no.
talking about Snapchat.
What about Snapchat?
Oh, Snapchat.
Who
Okay,
uses Snapchat?
I do. I do
He
use
literally
Snapchat.
told
I don't
me
use
he would
Snapchat.
not follow me right now, and
I-
that's okay.
He's doing it.
I'm doing it right now.
I don't know why. I don't know why. All
For
of a sudden, like,
publicity.
it's because he's been reading the Bible a lot today,
know.
drinking a little bit of the Bible.
Yeah,
too.
we've been
So-
drinking the Bible.
Drinking the Bible. What?
All right, whatever.
What have you?
Like,
Okay. So other than you guys not following each other on Instagram, what have you been doing with your lives? Julio is in education. He but that just means he drives a bus. I think we
Yo,
found
fuck
out
you.
when Julio
Yeah.
pulled up in a bus
He
that
was
he's
lying.
just a bus driver.
Yo, fuck you. This nigga, he's lying. He's capping.
I'm weak. Nah. Yeah. Oh, is it my turn?
Yes, Miss
It's your
Finance.
turn.
So yeah, I'm in the finance department at my job. My technical term is called an accounting associate. And
And she's
Oh.
black too.
That's rude. And I'm a female. So there we go.
That's a black woman accountant associate.
Don't team up on me on my
That's
own
a black
show.
woman accountant
Thank you
associate.
though. We might not follow each other on social media.
Well, you don't follow
but
me.
this
I
is
just followed you.
friendship,
No,
okay?
you don't follow me. There's not no more each other. It's you don't follow me. No.
But it was I initiated.
Yeah, but I did it.
All right.
You pulled the fish in and I bit.
Anyway, what do you do?
I make music. And
Yes,
I also
an
am in
amazing-
graduate school for neuroscience. Thank you.
She got a Grammy too.
Wow. Talk about freaking
No,
impressed.
Yeah, dude. All these people are way
Neuroscience.
more impressive than me.
What?
You about to get a
I'm impressed that Julio only got pulled over once on the way here.
bro. I was only going 6 miles per hour. What
That's
pissed me
fucked.
off is that
Wait, you were
over-
going. No, you were going 6 miles
I
per
was
hour
going
over,
fast.
10 miles per hour over.
No, I was on 6 miles per hour over the speed limit. And it's,
How fast were you going?
what is that? 65 plus 6, 71 miles per hour?
No, it's 55 on Cape.
Yeah. I peeped
Ooh,
that.
well, I
So
might have
that's
gotten away
why
with-
he
I might have gotten away with a little bit. I only gotta pay $60, but
Yeah, he got away with it. He was going like 16 over.
Don't you get points on your license too?
Points?
Yeah.
I
for your
doubt it.
speed.
Maybe.
What does that even do though?
But it's like my first ticket.
Sorry,
and
I
like
don't
it's
know.
like my
Wait,
first-
is the insurance going to go to your business?
my insurance is like $50 a month because I have the cleanest record known to me.
Yeah, but since you were driving the school bus, is it gonna like?
No. I'm not the first person to get it.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not the first. Won't be the last.
We just cut off. Sydney's been so quiet, and then she just dropped bombs on us about how impressive she is, and then we just.
Your coast is
Facts.
racist.
What was your major and your minor in college?
So my major was
You know this
neuroscience.
shit.
No,
I forgot what her minor was.
I
Kiana,
had a double
Kiana turns
minor.
to the host of the show.
No, I literally forgot what her minor
Sydney's
was.
not even on
my
camera.
major was neuroscience.
Oh my
yeah.
god.
And my minors were environmental science, which was basically all about climate change. It was awesome. And then also psychology.
It's real.
Fire.
Climate change
It
is
was
real.
amazing.
It is
Shout out
real.
Wheaton College.
Wheaton College, shout out.
One of the best.
Yeah, I lived with this motherfucker and this father
Fucker of
mucker.
mothers.
Yo, I'm gonna. Yeah.
What
was
are you
an
gonna do?
experience. Turn off the camera and let's find out.
We can keep the camera on.
I hit all the knives, so good luck.
This is what I deal with. Yeah. This is really some.
I will say that Sam is the only white person I know that can get away with
Can get
as many
away with
jokes
everything he does. I
Yes.
swear to God.
and Christ
You
above.
literally make me want to punch you directly in the nose, and then 2 minutes later I move on. And there's nobody else I can do that with.
Not
Well,
a
he's
goddamn
got some
soul.
people mad. Some
I even got
people-
family
No,
that
I
I've
do
had
get people
to
mad.
defend him in multiple circumstances where people don't understand his sense of humor. Like,
We're not, that's the one thing we're not talking about
not
that because
allowed
I'm not trying to get canceled again. Some girl tried to cancel me.
Bro, I've had your back so many times. One feminist came for you at Wheaton, though.
I had your back so many
Yeah, exactly.
times.
yeah, these two.
Damn right, it's a synergy.
It's
That kind.
definitely a group effort.
We're like we're a weird, fucked up family.
Yeah.
Definitely.
For sure.
Real fucked up.
Who'll be the
Definitely
first one?
southern.
Who'll be the first one to run away? I feel like
Incestuous.
it'd be you.
I got that.
I feel like you'd be the first one to run away from
You're
this
saying
family.
that.
Yeah. Who's Julio and I gay dads?
Probably. And we're like the kids.
I'm the
Mhm.
top though, so yeah.
It just
fun being a
yikes. Yikes.
Hey, man.
Wait, I like how you have the SpongeBob socks and the Pulp Fiction shirt.
Yeah.
And what's the hat with that heart?
Dressing is not his strong suit.
Okay.
How
You have a
offended.
rip in your ass.
Why did they can't see that?
But you
though.
have a rip in your ass.
It was right before we started, and I'm gonna sew it. But thank you for pointing that out.
It's there though.
Do you see the death
All right,
glares that I
I'm
get?
not gonna- I'm not gonna go back and forth with this dude.
So you literally, we went off on such a
Yeah.
tangent. We were talking about Sydney's COVID test,
Oh,
and she was getting right.
And then
and then school.
Yeah, this is a self-help episode, meaning we all need self-help.
Yeah, look at the drinking.
You're drinking
My
too.
drink is like
I actually-
watered
I don't-
down.
It's stronger.
On this podcast, I have said that I don't drink a lot, and I don't. I used to in college. I drank.
Yeah, when we lived together, see, I'm not gonna violate,
You were an alcoholic.
but like,
I wasn't an alcoholic.
and you would go home by yourself after like being like
Lit.
drinking a lot, and like you'd just be like, I'm just gonna go.
You
home
are the
and
one
chill.
who's like, I can. The only time I enjoy drinking is when I throw up.
That's not. Oh,
And you would throw up every
wow.
weekend.
That's not true at all.
Bro,
That is
remember the
not
time when
true
she
at
really
all.
she swore to God that I gave her some fucking gum.
Oh,
Or that I lost it. I gave it to her.
we
bro.
are gonna die talking about this gum that he did give me.
I
Do you
gave
know
to
about
you,
the gum?
And you lost it.
I don't know
God,
about the gum.
freshman year.
You
bro.
lost
I
it.
don't want to talk about the gum anymore.
Should be like, Julio, you
Can
lost
we
my
hear the
gum.
gum story?
Bro, you drunk. Okay, so we
he'll tell it till the day he dies.
because
so-
I'm right.
Oh wait, I'm gonna Chris Wallace this shit. You are Biden. You are Trump.
The fuck I am.
You're Trump. You got it.
Kamala,
You got the yellow hair.
She's Kamala. I'm Biden. Yeah.
you're true.
Honey.
Yeah, you're Trump.
I don't want to be Trump. I'm Chris Wallace.
You're Trump.
I'm Trump.
Yeah, you're the white closest thing to white blonde right here.
I could give Trump.
We-
Look at my African Americans over here.
all supporting me.
You know when Trump said that? Have you seen that
There's my
clip?
African American.
Yeah, it was. He literally points and he's like, "Look at my African American right there in the crowd." Like, Good for you.
So problematic.
Devastated.
Yo, so we all pregame.
I'm not Trump.
So
You're right. I'm joking.
fine. You're Chris Chrissy. But anyway, we
Should we pull up
That's
old
not
pictures
good.
of Julio? Because he looks like Chris Christie.
Yo, chill. I want to find him.
He
on
looks like
Instagram.
Chris Krispy Kreme.
Bro, I have 4 chins I could have easily used as purses, like easily. But
I
anyway,
dress down on my own podcast and I
us
feel bad.
We're like fat at one point besides her.
Yeah, you skinny asshole.
Like we all had a glow up. I don't know.
We did.
Reading the Bible really helped a lot. So
It was that, and we stopped eating crap after like 10.
it made reading the Bible.
No,
makes you
remember
wanna
we
eat.
would stop eating all day and then we would only eat at night.
Binge.
Yeah. Bro, once I felt my
Chase.
knee, once I felt I could put pressure on my knee, that's when I like wanted to continue losing weight.
Okay, so the gum story, since we literally
Okay.
are so good at getting off topic.
So anyway, we pre-gaming, I think in Sydney's room or some shit. And then you give me a piece of gum to give you later for God knows what reason. So I go back to McIntyre to get something. You come and I give you the goddamn gum. And then 3 hours later, you over here saying you don't got the fucking gum and I lost it. And I'm like, the fuck? I gave you the gum, which I fucking did.
You
How much
never
did this
gave
gum
me the
cost?
gum.
How much did this gum cost?
Because
Like
he
25
likes to
cents.
make things a big deal when it's
No. It's not even that because I will die on this hill.
Sydney's
to defend my
not
pride.
even
Yeah.
on
What did I
camera
do?
right
Did I
now.
smell it? Yes, I did.
I literally
So
wanted
let's
to
hear
have
your
this so
story.
bad.
Let's
That's
hear
what-
your side of the
No,
story.
I'm sure that's what happened, except for the fact that he just never gave it back.
Bro, I gave you the
he
goddamn
never
gum.
gave it back.
Yes,
and I
I
looked
did.
for it forever.
Bro, and because
And
you
I
lost
think he
it.
dropped it.
No,
I
you
really think that
dropped
he
it.
was drunk
Have
and
you
he
heard
dropped
this?
it.
You were drunk because you were making a big
Oh
deal
my
about the
God.
gum. You were like,
I just wanted it. That's why I was
bro,
making
you
a
were
big deal
stumbling
about
like,
it.
Julio, what the fuck? You lost my fucking gum. I'm like, huh?
Nobody was like that intense about it. I didn't swear at you and be hostile, but I like the way that you exaggerate things.
You never swore at me and been
What do you? Why? I'm talking about that one time.
yes,
They
you
might
was.
make out on the show.
Okay, relax. I am in a whole relationship, so
It was a joke.
try to be funny
Bro.
next time.
Okay.
Shoot.
Do you have K's on both ears?
Yes.
So it says KKK.
Oh my God.
I gotta
It
take
says
them off.
KKK. She okay for the
I
listeners.
gotta take
she
it
has
off.
K earrings and a K necklace.
God.
So it literally says
Wow.
KKK.
You know, just for that, just for you
That was a great
hyping
one.
it
That was a
so
great one.
much, I'm gonna keep it on.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, get out of my ear.
What's wrong with you?
Ugh.
That's that halfway
And
part of
I'm
you.
Trump.
Okay.
She's Trump.
I didn't
She's
know.
Trump. He's Biden.
Ignorance is bliss.
'Cause he
okay?
sniffs
I had
little
no
girls' hair.
idea. I didn't know.
That's why he's a teacher. He just wanted to sniff little girls' hair.
Huh?
Like
you guys see
Biden.
that video of that teacher who was making students fight in class?
I
and
saw that. He had a
recording
fight
it?
club.
You
There was a
didn't see
teacher.
that?
Yeah, bro. There was a whole
That
teacher
sounds
fight club.
amazing.
Yeah.
That
Why
sounds
is this crazy?
amazing.
Bro, he had a whole teacher fight
He
club.
did.
Whole student fight club, bro.
Like making the students fight and
Wait.
recording it. Like
Yo.
Genesis
I wanna watch.
texts are fantastic. Genesis is live texting this. She goes, "This gum story is dumb.
It
Laugh
is.
my fucking ass off."
Thank
and then she
you.
said, "Not the KKK."
KKK, man.
I wish you were here, Jen.
We really
so you and David
do.
Duke just hang out.
Can
Is that who your man is?
excuse? Can you excuse him?
He's excused.
I don't have to comply.
Can we just talk about how Trump never had COVID and is lying?
Do you
truly
you
I
guys think he
believe that.
never had COVID?
No.
I think he-
absolutely?
I think he just has really good medical. Like they just
Do you
treated
like
him.
Trump.
No, I don't like Trump.
Okay, I just needed to ask.
But there's no but into it. But it's like when people talk a lot of shit, I feel like you have to give both sides. So like when you write a good essay, you have to, the third
Compare and
paragraph
contrast.
of the essay has to contrast that. So I want to give the other side so we fairly talk about the whole thing.
Oh,
Well, I
thought
just
you were
feel
gonna say
like, I don't know. He went on camera 2-3 days after he was diagnosed and he seemed fine. And
I
then
don't know,
was
he looked-
adamant about how the treatment that he got was recent.
I don't know. He was
And-
struggling to breathe when he took his mask off. You didn't see that? Like they closed up on his face, and he's just like,
He is
was
like a
breathing through his
heavy
mouth.
man.
Yeah. I don't know. He could have
He
been
looked a
acting.
little less orange last time I saw him.
He did.
Pale. He looked more pale.
So
I look pale as fuck in this video right now.
Just this video, bro. Just the video.
Rude.
Yeah. But mom,
So you really don't think he had it?
I'm distrusting. I kind of think everything he does is just a lie and a means to an end. And I feel like he wanted to stress that his treatment was recent and that would make people want to get the vaccine that was made in less than a year.
I think it's fucked up that he hasn't mentioned how his wife's doing at all.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
Like you gotta
Hold
like
on,
right, like you gotta.
Wait, hold on, right?
It's
What?
also a ploy though to get people to. It's a sympathy vote as well.
Yeah, that too.
Like this
I'm
is
not-
also a part of
People
it.
were
Like,
wishing that
people-
he died. Like
No, but I'm
I'm-
saying that
No,
there
no.
is going to be obviously his supporters are like
gonna shove his
Gung-ho.
cup
Wait,
Like,
but
yeah.
if Biden got
cock right
corona, people would be wishing he was dead in jokes
Trump supporters
every
would be up the
single
ass with
day.
But what
Hey,
did Biden do?
talk into your
when-
microphone,
What did
motherfucker.
Biden do when Trump got COVID?
He got tested and he tested
Well,
negative.
He
that's
wished
not
him
what I'm
well.
saying.
He
I
wished
mean,
him-
Oh, he wished him well. Yeah, he did.
And decided to pull all like the ads that like were a little bit like
I agree. It's a good move.
he's
the
doing
bigger
that
move.
when they go low, we go high. But it's also like I genuinely feel as though maybe you should go low a little bit, just a little bit.
I mean, he
Just
goes low when he
the
sniffs
Democrats
the
are
hair of
way
little
more
girls.
strategic than that,
Sam.
though. Democrats, I feel like, are way more strategic than that. They're like, they want to win over the hearts and minds of all these undecided voters.
Can you guys believe I have a minor in peace and social justice?
I didn't know that.
I can't actually.
I had
I
no
can't
clue.
believe that.
I still to
Isn't
this day
that
can't.
crazy?
Bro.
Isn't that literally insane?
Bro, I was saying this
You
earlier.
Never keep peace.
Bro, I was saying this earlier. You
I
know
always
what's
keep the
crazy?
social justice.
We came up with 2 connections out the ass, and now we
Yeah.
in office them.
Do you want to
Of course.
explain connections?
Oh my
I don't even. How the hell was that?
gosh.
How the
You
hell that shit
basically
work?
just
That
have
shit,
to take classes in different disciplines.
yeah, bro. You have to take in twice. And both of us last semester ever at Wheaton, they tell us last week that, oh, this last class that you took doesn't match with this one, so we don't know. You probably can't graduate. So our only option was to go.
No, they said if you don't have one, you can't graduate if you don't come up with one. So we had to make a student initiated connection, and it was awful.
Bro,
guy
I'm so
almost
glad that they
cried
made
every
us do
day.
that.
Bro, because I was stressed. I was like, yo,
Yeah.
Senior year was crazy. Like, it's crazy that we didn't. I don't want to talk about college the whole time because, like, who wants to hear about that? But like, I'm happy that we didn't get canceled with Corona with college.
Yeah,
But
we
our
had
senior
to.
year
Sorry,
was
honey.
crazy.
No, yeah.
We had
yeah.
fires. We had.
Student initiated fires.
So she actually added me on. I am doing this. She added me
I
on.
am doing that.
She added me on Facebook, and the first thing she posted was from our birthday party. No
She was
no
born.
candles on the cake.
I remember you saying this.
That was odd. I just feel like she was trying to get out of class or something. She was like, let me just start these fires in the building.
Julio, so remember all the memes?
So uncomfortable.
No, it wasn't. I don't think it
The
wasn't
memes.
just.
The memes.
I'm not gonna hold you because I did find it funny that somebody was setting McIntyre on fire. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with Wheaton? Like, and then I found out it was one of mine. I'm like, wow, I feel like a dickhead, like a pure dickhead.
We had a roommate come in.
Sam, you cannot glaze over that fire story. You got to tell the story now.
All right, I guess I have to tell the fire story
Oh,
now.
okay.
I've been told.
Yeah.
So our senior year, we had a girl. I won't give any details. We had a girl who lit
You can give details.
lit trash cans on fire.
No names, obviously.
No names. And I'm not going to tell what school we went to in this story. So- but not in this story.
Wheaton College.
And there were.
College, and they had a student do blackface and they didn't do anything about it.
Oh, Julio, do you want to give the
Right.
story? Do you want Julio should give the blackface story and the fire story.
Yeah.
How they didn't suspend a student who showed up to a Halloween party in blackface.
That's
She was
not
dressed
the
as
same
Terry
thing.
Crews
Wow.
from White Girls.
Like,
But there was a girl who lit trash cans on fire every week.
It was like every
other. She was on a schedule.
Like every 4 days. And we were like, when's the next one?
It was like twice. It was like twice in the
And
first
then she
semester.
got caught for lighting fires.
And she was an
no one
RA.
believed.
Yeah, she was an RA, and I also spoke to her about the fires.
Yeah, she was like
And
telling
she was
everyone
telling me
about
that
it.
like she was like mortified and like I was
I
like
bet she was.
and how she's like her whole like floor couldn't sleep on the floor and they had to sleep in the dining hall and it was just super hard.
I just remember walking by Chase and recording them sleeping on the floor, laughing my ass off because like I'm like,
Julio, his ass was creating memes the whole time about
I
it.
think I still have them, bro. That shit.
Dying
hilarious.
laughing.
And
about
this
it.
was
Then when
his-
he
Everybody was
found out-
laughing.
Then when he found out who it was, kid you not, like was so
Upset
with
about
himself.
any. I remember I
Like,
made
couldn't
so
even
many
talk
jokes.
about
I
it.
made so many jokes after the
But
fact.
was the person who was making all the jokes. Like,
Hey, I have a minor in peace and social justice. I can say whatever I want. That's what that piece of paper means. Talk into the microphone.
I don't want to
please.
talk anymore.
You don't. We don't want you to either.
Sweet.
But that fucking
So
situation was crazy though.
yeah,
Like,
there also was someone who did do blackface.
oh, that was beautiful.
That was so upsetting.
That was so beautiful of Wheaton to not do anything. That is probably the most divided I've ever felt that campus be. And it's crazy how
Or when Trump
Genesis
was
just said the
elected.
pregnant arsonist.
Oh my
What
god.
do you mean, pregnant.
she was not pregnant, bro.
Right. She wasn't pregnant.
She was not pregnant, bro.
Julio looks dumb in that hat.
I love her.
She posted a baby though. She
No,
posted
she
too
always
much with that
posts
baby.
A baby. And that's because she's like always taking care of.
All right,
her
we
family
shouldn't talk
members.
about
Yeah,
this. This is not
going too in depth.
exactly. We just lost one of our 7 listeners. Did you have anything crazy happen senior year?
No. Nothing I can think of.
We had a rapper move into our room.
Wait, what? Oh,
We did the first half.
Future guest on the show.
Super Permy.
Super Permy.
That's
Shouts out.
my BFF, my cousin
you want to say her name?
Maya.
There you go.
And she moved into like
She did.
I remember when I would go to visit people in the like colleges in the city,
Yeah.
you would have to like sign in, give your ID, like you like they
Really
were like
intense.
you couldn't have it only like 3 nights a month,
Right.
like a week, and then like not the certain times a month. At Wheaton, they
No.
didn't give. She lived in our dorm
She
room
lived
for
in
like
our dorm for like 3 months. It was like 2 months.
it was 2
3
months. Yeah, exactly. And they didn't even know.
No, I was living in a small ass dorm with a huge blow up bed, like half underneath my bed, half out. And I would get so upset with her because she trashed my room. Like,
Yo, your
trashed.
room was so filled with shit.
I was like, I remember one time I got mad. And
It
I
looked
think
like
Genesis
Tonto
was
lived there. There was fucking wigs everywhere.
Wigs everywhere. And Genesis came over and I think I was like really irritated because I couldn't find an eyelash. And she was like, "Oh, I feel so weird right now. Like I really thought you guys were gonna fight."
Can I tell you a story
Yeah.
about Kiana?
No.
I was doing push-ups in my room one day,
No.
and I stopped doing my push-ups, and I look up my palm, and there's an eyelash, and I throw it out, and I tell Kiana that story, and she's like, "Why'd you throw it out?"
Yo, facts.
I was looking for it.
It was on the ground. I'm doing push-ups.
You should have kept it.
Would you have used
real
it?
ass would have kept it.
You really would have used it. You would have gotten pink eye.
Probably.
You would have gotten pink eye.
Yeah, I probably would have.
I was
you.
saving you.
Did me a favor. All right.
See, you think I like am hating,
You are.
but I'm really
99%
loving.
of the time.
I'm like a hard parent. Like I'm giving you tough love.
Yo.
What's one thing? Curiosity?
Why are you holding the mic like that?
I don't know. It's
For
comfortable.
the
as shit.
listeners, he's holding the mic like a chopstick.
No, like a cigarette.
Like a
honestly.
cig-
But like, what's one thing? What's one thing that coronavirus, this pandemic, taught you? Because obviously everybody has not been the same since quarantine started. And if you say you have been, you're lying.
Wow, that's a really good question, actually.
One thing I learned is that we are dead ass a third world country with a Gucci belt strapped around our belt.
I say that
That's
all
a
the time.
fact.
We're dead ass. We really say all the time that we don't have money for shit, and we do.
Yeah.
It's just the first ones to get bailed out, and never ones that look like us three, or even have the same income level as you, sir. It's like the Bill Gateses. And if I know something, we was talking about this last year or 2 years ago. If anything that the Trump election taught us is that we are in need of a whole reset of politics and American way of life.
Well, Trump didn't even really reset it. He just made it like media driven.
Yeah.
It's
Like-
still like the Republican Party. Like he didn't drain the swamp
At all.
at all.
At all.
Mitch McConnell, like
At
No,
all.
and the people are just emboldened as well.
He flooded.
It's
He
just
flooded that swamp.
more prominent now.
Yeah.
It's more, brought to light a little bit. But no, I feel like that's a really good question.
One thing that
Like-
coronavirus pandemic taught you.
I think you can go.
Well, for me, it kind of kicked me into gear and it made me realize that I needed to get the ball rolling on my life. Like we picked my brother up from Cornell after it started, and I got laid off, so I had no job, and we were just all in the house the whole time. And he was going through some stuff, and tensions started to rise, and it kind of all bubbled up. And I don't know if I even told you guys this story, but like he like got physically violent with me, and I realized that I needed to move out. And so I moved to my friend's house in Cortland, New York, and I started applying to jobs and applying to schools. And then from Cortland, I went to Martha's Vineyard, and then now I'm in Connecticut in school. But it kind of just, thank you. It just made me realize like I need to move out. I need to do my own shit and just like not be influenced by other people's vibes and other people's shit all the time.
Yeah. Big
He-
facts.
it's kind of why we're all still friends. I feel like is we all grew over like there's two types of people in this, and not to say that this pandemic hasn't fucked up a lot of people, and it has, but there's people who have done something about it, and there's people who wallowed. And I don't think we have wallowed. We've all grown and done stuff.
And I think that that's true for all of us in like every thing that we've ever been through. Like none of us, I mean, obviously like you have your amount of allotted time that like, you be sad or whatever, you grieve, but like, I feel like none of us like stay there. That's not
Yeah.
somewhere we live.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like it's like natural for us to like pick up and just like be like, okay, what's next? Like, what do I need to do?
Yeah,
How do
like
I
I hit
need
a
to get out
low
of
and I
it?
just skyrocketed back up.
Right.
Sometimes you have to
Exactly.
hit that low to
Exactly.
go back up.
And you saw like you're in grad school, you're
Yeah.
living by yourself, like you
Neuroscience.
exactly. Like, are you
Master's degree
kidding
in
me?
neuroscience. Like what?
I listened to 2 books on tape, and it's the only thing I can talk about on this podcast.
No.
So, what did you learn over?
Mine, yeah, like Sid, mine was a little bit more personal. I got like really terrible anxiety. I had to have a surgery around my eye, and it kind of like just really showed me, it might sound dramatic, but the anxiety, I had to go to the hospital and like a lot of doctor's appointments, and it was just really hard for me. And it really just showed me that like you, as much as you have control, I don't think you have control over your body. I think you have influence over your body. And like, well, what you put into it, what you feed it, what you feed your mind, the exercise, whatever. But I think that for me, my body really hit a low point, like really terrible. Like,
We can talk about it.
I just had like, chest pains, like a rapid heart rate. And this was happening for months.
Had you quit smoking at that point?
I quit smoking when it started. So when I found the thing around my eye, I was like, oh, my anxiety is so bad. I need to stop smoking because it wasn't helping. Like when I would smoke, my anxiety would hit the roof. And I was just like, oh, this is not like, I'm not happy. And I stopped smoking and it got better, but it took like 2 months for me to to like not have chest pains and to not have rapid heart rate and to not feel like I was having a heart attack constantly. Like my left arm was like constantly numb, like, and I'm still dealing with stuff. Like I have a lot of like I still have chest pain like randomly in my arm, like right here, like by my what's this, my armpit / chest. I like get pain there and I'm like, oh my gosh, and I have to like talk myself through it. But I'm in counseling, and like I just talk things through, and I think counseling has really helped me realize like, okay, so recognize what's happening, like acknowledge that, like what the fear is, like what do you fear is going to happen. And I always say like, I fear that I don't have control, and like, okay, worst case scenario, I could die. But then at the end of it, like you have to accept that, like, okay, so anybody could die. Like you could die. That's okay.
It's weird because it's hard to talk about stuff like that. And I appreciate you talking about it because it's like everyone has their own beliefs on that. And we got into it last night about it, where it's like, I believe, I've talked about this on the podcast before, when you're like, we live in the craziest time. It's like our consciousness has probably been recycled. We probably always have lived in the time that is now. And that has given me peace excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. All right, I'll talk to you this way. No, but it's given me peace in that I just am going to follow my dream. Like, there's a lot of things in my life that I've wanted to do. I loved baseball. I'd want to be a chef, like whatever. But those can be different lifetimes. And this one, I'm a comedian and I have this podcast, and I'm going to put my heart and soul into it. And that's what this lifetime's going to be dedicated to. My next lifetime, I can be dedicated to making a change or whatever. And that might sound stupid because I want to make a change in this life too, because I got into comedy to help people like me who comedy helped.
And that's the thing about you is like, I don't like tell you this all the time, but when I do, it matters. And like, I've always looked at you as somebody who you've always fearlessly gone in the direction that you want to go. Like, even when you get up and you're like, oh, I did stand up tonight. Oh, I bombed, but like, it was practice. Yeah. Like this, I'm going to, you always do what you got to do. And that's like really admirable and inspirational.
I needed that. Thank you very much. Cause I'm tough on myself, and it's tough to take a step. You guys all deal with anxiety. I think that's another thing that we could, you know what I mean? Like
it almost took my life.
Exactly. Do you want to talk about that or no?
I mean, yeah, when I was 16, it was just it was just really the zenith of my anxiety. I didn't like the way I looked, sounded. I was stressed out about school. I wasn't doing as well. I was still reeling over my parents' separation and the whole trials of custody and child support and all that.
That shit's fucked. I had to deal with that shit too.
I just lost my friend the year prior to street violence. And it all just culminated into like, it really felt like I was in autopilot mode. Like, I don't remember me telling my own body to walk out into my fire escape and walk over the railing. Like, the only thing that kept me alive was the fact that I didn't let go on my right hand. The only thing that keeps me alive today is that I didn't let go with my right hand. And it's crazy how now, before I moved out of my mom's crib, I use that as my safe zone. The spot that I almost ended my life, I really take a break from it. So that's my deal with anxiety. And that's kind of why I stress so much on mental health. And something I teach these boys at my middle school a lot is to talk it through, to not manifest it in any other toxic or unhealthy way. Because that's kind of where it starts, when you're developing with the wrong messages around you about how you should deal with your emotions and how you should handle them. Then we don't get the best advice a lot of the time. So one thing that I strive to do is to show them how to navigate their feelings, amongst 100 other things that I got to teach them. But that's a start.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be a label or a life sentence, Like, that's why I never claim that I have depression. Like, I have gone through depression, but I don't have depression. It's not something that you necessarily have to deal with all the time. You could deal with it for a month out of the year, and then it could be gone forever.
Right.
You know, you don't have to claim it. I feel like that's what a lot of people do, and they hold on to it and they get in their heads about it.
And then it becomes
And then
them.
it becomes part of their identity.
That's really interesting because I've always said, yeah, I have anxiety and depression, and I've had it since before. I went through what I went through before I was 12, and I don't know. I mean, I say I had it before, but like, it really came to the surface after that. But like, I've never thought about it like that, and I really like that.
It could be transient. It doesn't have to
Like
be
I don't
People-
think you have to live there, but
Yeah.
but it's something that it's a part of me, but maybe like it doesn't have to.
But
like
That's the reason I agree with that point, though, is because I feel like society has put such a strain or such an emphasis before on like mental health that to the point where like it's not talked about as much, to the point where if you do talk about it, you do have a label of like, oh, you're crazy, or you're depressed, or you're this, you're that. When instead it could be a fluid emotion of depression. Like you could say the stages of it, you can get in and out of it. People get depressed after they have children, postpartum depression. One of my good friends likes to label it whenever he goes through rough patches, checking into the Heartbreak Hotel. Because it's literally like you said, you don't live there, but you stay there for a while and you check out.
Yeah.
I like
better.
that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I was going through a tough time at the beginning of quarantine with like stand up getting canceled. And it's funny, my mom, this is not a rude thing that she said, but she was like, I thought quarantine would have been bad for you because you had gone through a breakup right beforehand. Like you didn't have comedy anymore. And it was for like the first couple weeks, but then it was that you kind of have to like overdrive your mind and be like, it sucks. But I read this book called The War of Art, The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield, and he was talking about resistance. Like that's the only thing that holds you back from anything is resistance in your mind. Like that's literally it. And when you put words to it, it's like, oh, when I wake up in the morning and I don't want to meditate, I don't want to do yoga, I don't want to go for my run, I don't want to edit the podcast, I don't want to work on my stand-up, I don't want to, it's only resistance in your mind. And growing as a person is not listening to resistance. Like if you look at anyone that you look up to, they're doing way more than you because they're not listening to resistance more. And that kind of kicked me into overdrive where it's like, I don't need stand-up. I got the podcast started, which it's been more successful than I thought it would be in the time that I've been doing it, which is great. I lost 50 pounds over quarantine. And it's like, I appreciate it, but that's not what I'm doing it for, but it's like anxiety's there, but it's in your mind. And just having someone, if you are depressed or you are anxious, if you read that book, The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield, it just kicks your mind into a place of just being like, oh, I can get over it. Like it is just a hotel that I can check out of.
Yeah. And everyone has fear and resistance to some degree, but at the same time, you have to keep going despite the fear, because that's how you get places. And if you keep doing it, you won't feel the fear as intensely.
Did you feel like a weight off your shoulders when you moved out?
Oh yeah. I felt kind of free.
Do you feel this? You just moved out too, and you just got a place too.
I did.
Actually, you've had a place for like a year now, haven't you?
Yeah, but I moved again.
Okay.
I don't have a studio anymore. I actually have like a nice big place with a living room.
I live with my mom.
Mom, I'm white.
Milk it.
Oh my God. But living away from home just gives you such a.
Yeah, but Sam isn't like, it's not the conventional. Like you don't have to like.
Yeah,
no,
you
I'm
don't
not
have
saying
to.
that. I know.
Yeah, like
The reason I
you're
did it is
pretty
because of my
free.
program.
I'm like a
Yeah.
nomad. Yeah, I move
Yeah.
around. Like I do stand up every night
Yeah.
now
The
that
only reason
it's
I'm doing it is
back.
because my program pays for it.
And I do want to say that I take Corona seriously. I really do. Like I wear my mask. I
I
tested
was worried
but I tested negative.
just because of the podcast.
I know. but I tested negative, and I
wouldn't be here.
and I do think it's because I do take care of myself. Like I run, I meditate, I do yoga, I take vitamin D. I try to take care of myself.
Did you hear that?
No, what'd you say?
I said you said it wouldn't stick.
Yeah, no bullshit's falling off twice for me. I think it's just racist.
It is. Have you seen this?
Oh, before you get sued, bro, this podcast is brought to you in part by Coca-Cola and Corona. I don't know the logo, or
I don't want my podcast sponsored by Corona.
Well, you don't want to get sued by Corona.
Coronita. Last night.
Brought to you in part by Coronita.
So last night we were having a little bit of fun.
Huh?
We were having a little bit of fun last night. That's all I'm gonna say. We were having a little bit of fun.
Oh, we went to church, right? And we walked to the beach.
And I got out this Corona, and I was like, how fucked up am I? This feels so small in my hand. And it's a small Corona. I've never seen it before.
It's a Coronita. Coronita. Genesis, you've never seen a Coronita, you're lying. You're not a true Dominican.
Let's see if Genesis has ever seen.
You're not Dominican if you've never seen a Coronita. Come on, like, we all know that one cheap ass family member that brings them to the cookouts.
Oh, Genesis asked me, do I believe in God now? I do believe in God now. Actually,
I still don't know.
I talk about journaling and I talk about meditation, and meditation is in my prayer, and I won't exactly talk. If anyone wants to know more, you can message me, email me at sambuckcomedy@gmail.com or DM me at samcbuck. But there were certain things that helped me become spiritual and talk to God and really show me my path and show me that I'm on my right path and tell me that
I'd like to know more.
I'm doing the right thing.
I'm glad, because I know that we've had a lot of living together. We've had a lot of convos about.
Yeah, and I talked to Julio about this, not on the podcast, but when we drove around, we hadn't seen each other for a little bit. That I was dealing with a lot of anger and a lot of stuff that I didn't deal with, and I just was like, I was an angry person, and I feel like I had a lot of resentment to whatever, like, you know what I mean? You feel like a resentment towards life, and when you get that away, when you say fuck that, like those were resentment, like this is this life, the resentment isn't going to help me, then you can move forward. We were driving around earlier and a guy was being such a dick.
Wow.
Who do you think can tell this story the best?
So this bitch ass motherfucker, right?
Oh god.
We're going up this hill, right? We're coming from this private beach and we're going up a hill that we need to go. It's a one-way hill. We are going, what are we down?
It was pretty steep.
Yes,
too.
we're like what?
He stopped
We're like 5-6 of the way up the hill, and this guy has all the space in the world to just back up. So we're telling him, "Can you back up? Can you back up?" And this guy over here pointing like,
"You do it."
And we were up a full hill.
It's the fucking for me, like.
And Sam was like, "I need you."
It's like
being so polite.
We would have had to go so far, and
Sam was being polite. He was just standing there waiting, like just like
he was being entitled.
And then we pulled up, and he had his window down, and I wanted to say so. I have this dream of saying to an old person, God's almost done with you. But I
really should have.
I wish you did.
But I said, have a nice day. I said, have
a nice day.
Have a nice day.
That takes more.
Yeah.
And
it makes
it
them
really
think
does.
Because I wouldn't have.
Because he was with his wife, and honestly, it might be because I'm more crazy, but I'm like, he's gonna fight with his wife now. Like his wife's gonna be so mad.
No, but didn't he call you an asshole?
Yeah, he did.
And Sid stuck up his finger. So
see, that's more than I would. That's way more than. That's way more humility and way more maturity than I would have showed. Like.
I probably would have honked. Like Sam was just like, I'm gonna sit here.
Y'all didn't hear me. I was like, if I put both my SpongeBob socks on and both my Yeezys on, he still has it backed up. I'm gonna get out. And
it's great because I have a Jeep and I don't drive.
You're the big
I'm a driver. You guys know, like I'm a good driver. Like
especially
nobody I trust more.
Especially when off the Bible.
Yes, yeah, I love listening to the Bible while driving.
Right,
but I'm a good driver. I've been driving for a long time. Right. Yes, I think we can put that out there.
You're giving us a snowstorm.
But with the Jeep, we'll talk about that after. With the Jeep, I know when I can pull the Jeep card. Like he's in an Outback. Is he going to outman me? If Julio and I get out the car, he's gonna back up immediately or call the cops,
Yeah.
Which is what
and
did
then
one
I
time.
can just be like,
I was getting out to talk to him.
exactly.
Let
Like,
him know
I
what's
can't.
going on.
See,
I don't feel comfortable backing down this hill. Like I'm just
And you
trying
had
to-
mad
rolling
space.
backwards.
He
I
had
was
mad
like,
space.
Yeah, dude, that's a
that was a steep hill. I was like, and then when you tried to go, you had to like gun it.
yeah.
Bro, I'm like the number one reason that I stayed in the car was because like if he calls the cops, I'm screwed. Which is ironic because remember that story I told you about the crackhead in the parking lot?
No.
I never told you the story.
Yes, when he came to, he
Stuck-
wanted to ask for drugs or something.
No, he was just chilling in the school's parking lot. I mean, the principal goes to him like, "Yo,
You can't hang
you
out.
can't be
here.
here. He's over here like, mind you, this man is tweaking, talking about like, don't worry about what the fuck I'm doing, you fucking faggots. Da, 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 da. I'm just
Yo.
like, I'm like, hold the fuck up.
I'm gonna have to put dog barking over.
I'm
that.
like, yo, and he's over here. I'm recording this. I'm like, by the first faggot that he dropped, I was just like, I'm gonna record this because
Bark.
like, I'm gonna record this because I'm like, if he calls, if he puts a hand on either of us and we reactively swing on him, he's not gonna tell the cops shit. So he's saying over here like, I'm U.S. Special Marines 2nd Division. I served under Kennedy. Mind you, this nigga looked like he's 80. There's no goddamn way he was serving whatever fucking division 40, 50 something years ago.
He probably was though.
No, the fuck he was not.
So many
was
veterans
80?
are homeless.
Bro, not even 80. This motherfucker looked like he was 50. But think of there was no fucking way he was
I'm
serving under
confused.
Kennedy.
Remember
Why would
when
he lie?
okay, this is actually one of my favorite
He probably
stories.
doesn't.
There's certain stories that I want to tell on stage, but they never get laughs because everyone's like,
Should I laugh?
yeah, exactly. Like the one is when we were at McDonald's and there was this big pickup truck and we all thought a racist was going to be driving it. And so you guys were like, Sam, you walk
Hey,
ahead.
Kelby.
You
Oh, I
and
was
Kelly
like,
are like,
"Ooh,
Sam,
I
you
was
walk
gonna-
ahead. And then the guy pulls out and it's the
Nicest
biggest hippie. And he's like, have a nice day, y'all. And he has like he has a ponytail, but he had the biggest truck. And big trucks equal little dicks and racists.
That's very true. That is also
Have
very
you
true.
ever, Sydney might have had a date where a big truck picked her up.
No.
Oh, you talking about that? Oh,
Didn't you have a Trump supporter?
Oh yeah, I did talk to a Trump supporter. I never ended up meeting him because I was kind of scared. But
he was.
I talked to
He
him.
was that ass.
Cut that off after I realized that I shouldn't be entertaining that type of energy.
Big facts.
Big facts.
That one. You
You
just.
see.
The other one is when they brought, who was it? Khadijah Jordan.
Oh,
They brought me to the student of color
Yeah.
meet and greet at Wheaton. And they didn't tell, they just said it was an event with free food. And so I'm the only white person in the whole room. It's all the students at Wheaton, all the teachers and faculty of
Respect.
color at Wheaton, and me. And everyone in the room had to get up and introduce themselves, including me. And they're like, they didn't tell me what it was. And they're like dying, like someone fucking farted in church. And I'm fucking like, I had no idea. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Will you tell? And they're like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And fucking I knew when the one of the provosts stands up and they're like, there's a grant for every student of color for $2 million in STEM research in this room. And I'm the only one in the room not getting that.
He's like,
And
yeah,
everyone's
I'm black.
They didn't even have food at the event. You know what? You want to know what the only food they had at the event was?
Cookies.
Crackers.
Ah, you.
I thought you were giving me knuckles.
No, cracker. You're insulted.
It's true though. They only had crackers, and I was like, "That's
So were you the cracker, or they actually had soda?
a
crackers?
true story."
I mean, there were some white students that went to BSA at Wheaton. which I
Oh,
thought was
yeah.
really cool.
Be invited to the cookout.
for
once?
sure.
I remember
Good
Julio
testimony.
and I would go to feminist
Farm
club.
meeting. I was about to bring that up. We went to a
I
farm meeting
remember
once.
that. I was
Bro.
in that club. That club was
I
like,
loved her.
It was very
Yeah.
not a lot of black women there, ironically.
there was a good
I
amount
never
of
went
black
there.
women.
I saw
Oh
like
wait, in Fog.
yes,
Oh,
I
yeah,
saw
you're
like
right.
two. I saw
Yeah.
Justina and
That
Audrey.
other one.
Oh,
Yeah.
I saw Justina and I saw Audrey.
I
And then at
didn't never saw her.
Emerson
Hey,
House was worse.
but
I
luckily-
think we should FaceTime Genesis in for like a minute or two, just because she deserves to be on this.
Oh god.
Fuck her. Nah, I'm playing. Love you.
Do it.
All right, I'm gonna FaceTime Genesis in. I'm gonna hold her up to the microphone, and you guys will be able to hear. You won't be able to see her. Check her out at Henny Roc on Instagram, and also
And
at
don't be-
Jen Mald.
Don't be concerned. She sounds like that.
Maldonado.
She just sounds like that. Don't be concerned.
What's up?
She just sounds like that. Don't
Why
worry.
can we hear her better on your phone than on the laptop?
Facts.
Because it's closer to you. Do you not know how physics work?
Please
I don't
cut
know,
off
but-
the camera.
Called you a
Cut
dumb.
the fucking camera.
He called you a dumb.
Are you
spoon.
enjoying this? I want you're a live listener. I've never gotten listener feedback live. Have you been enjoying the podcast so far?
I have been enjoying the podcast. I thought that you guys it was just pretty accurate to what you guys are like in real life. I really loved the part where you guys were getting deep. There were some things I heard today that I've never even heard in regular convo. And I don't know, it made me very emotional. So I made this tweet. I'm going to read it to you guys. I actually tweeted it during this.
Oh wow. You should tweet at Bucked Up Podcast on Twitter.
Will do. I said, damn, so grateful for my close friends. God has really blessed me with individuals that uphold the greatest aspects of humanity, humility, compassion, and drive.
I love her.
That's so sweet.
She's my
Thank you
favorite.
so much for that. That was really, man, we really wish you were here.
Seriously.
I wish I was here too. I mean, I'm inputting all my commentary in this live chat I got going. I mean, Kiana's faces, people, please watch her face. Hilarious. Julio's storytelling, good God, Lord bless your souls. Yeah, I miss you guys.
I feel like
We
we need
miss
to
you.
get her insight on something.
Yeah, what do you need her?
Either either what has been
Hers.
the most interesting thing you've learned in law school so far, or a positive or negative about each one of us.
Oh, I like the second one.
Or negative about what?
Why
Each
would you
one of
do
us.
that?
Yeah.
My ego can't take
Repeat
that.
it to her. She can't hear.
She wants to know what's a positive and negative about each one of us, and also something you've learned over quarantine.
We could do both.
Whatever.
I mean, I don't know.
All right, I'll be quick with both because I'm on the clock here. A positive or negative. I'm gonna just do positives because good vibes.
Thank Jesus Christ, because you know a lot of dirt
I have a
about
lot
me.
of
I
negatives.
really do. I was just wow. I'll start with Sid. I would say the positives about Sid is that she's a very loyal friend, and I remember the specific time last year I went to the Posse Plus retreat, and this was my first year actually without you guys, which was so weird, like going into senior year without the people who basically like raised me. It was kind of crazy. And it was just very emotional, and I just felt like I had no one really there in my corner. And I called Sid like from New Hampshire in the middle of nowhere. I'm in like a forest calling her, just like venting, and she was just really there for me. And even though Sid be quiet, she be saying a lot when she needs to. So
She
shout out
do
to
be.
Sid.
She do be.
Kiana is just the light of my life.
I love you.
I just love you very much, and I feel like from the moment we met, we were like friends, soulmates. You know, the energy is always
For
there.
Also,
Also, someone very loyal who's also been there for me. I remember this one time back when Kiana lived in Killam, and she had this small room. And surprisingly, or not surprisingly, Maya was also there sleeping in her room.
Maya's always.
And it was a really hard night. I was going through some stuff, and it was like 2 a.m. My roommate had her boyfriend over, so I couldn't go in my room. I was having a fight with my close friend. I was just breaking down. It was too much. And she let me come to her room at 2 a.m. and she just told me I was crying, and I don't even be crying like that.
We just
So that was
slept in my
hilarious.
bed.
But I appreciate that. And then like it's funny because we both like in the bed, like I was in the corner and she was in another corner, and it's like, do we hug? Do we not?
That's my baby. I like adopted her when she came to Wheaton.
She really
Took
did.
her under
All
my
right,
wing.
Julio now.
Oh, there's nothing good to say. Skip him.
Julio's face, so rude. I would say Julio always brings like the humor. I know like Sam's a comedian, but Julio be bringing the humor to like sad situations. I remember this one time, like we were just chilling, and why am I going through shit in every single one of these stories? But I guess this says a lot about our friendship. And he just be making jokes. His room was always a space that we always could like go and hang out. And there was a time where like I didn't feel welcomed on campus, and I knew Julio's room was always a place to be. Good vibes, good energy, good music. So I appreciate his vibes in that regard. And last but not least, Sam Buck.
You can just say negatives about me. She does know so much shit about. She knows more shit about me than anyone in this world probably. Oh, 100%.
I have no comment.
Yeah, through Izzy, 100%.
Oh, but like,
Well, you know, something surprising though. This is also something I liked about you. Like, I feel like I was able to maintain, like, at one point, like, separate friendships. And I appreciate, like, how I have a friendship with each one of you individually. And me and Sam, like, I'd be having a bad day, or we'd both be having a bad day, and he'd be like, let's go out, like, let's just be spontaneous. And we just have, like, a bunch of these fun friend days where we would just go drive around and, like, go get food and make fun of people on the street. And, like, just, I don't know, good energy. And obviously your comedy is a plus in our friendship, because you just be making shit that's not supposed to be funny, and I think I needed that. So
It's because I have a minor in peace and social justice, and I can say whatever I want.
Exactly what it is. And then what was his last question?
Something, yes. What? Finally, you talk so goddamn. I'm just kidding. I love that so much. That was so sweet. Finally, what's something you learned over this pandemic?
No, in law school.
Oh, in law school. I'm so sorry.
That's a good one. I mean, I've been learning so much, but I think just a general thing that was surprising to me that, you know, the United States, and I'm sure this applies in many other countries, but it's just like the people who live in this country, like, we're promised so many things by the Constitution and by the law, and it's like we aren't ever taught what our rights are, and that's so scary.
Yeah.
There's so many aspects of our rights that we could be implementing into our everyday lives that I think that I don't know who's at fault. I don't know if it's the government. I don't know if it's the education system. I don't know what.
Both. All the above.
Like small
Right.
things from knowing your Miranda rights to keeping your rights in contracts. I mean, it's just insane. One really cool thing that I learned this far, I'm taking a class in like learning about contracts in general and breach of contract and this and that. And it's like, technically, like, for example, if I was to promise Sam right now, like, if you stop smoking for the next 6 months, I'll give you $5,000. And through this verbal contract, in 6 months from now, if you prove clean and I tell you, oh, I changed my mind, you could sue me. You could sue me on a breach of contract, and I could owe you $5,000. So it's so scary how our words have so much power. So no, you're right. My legal fees will be $500 an hour by the time I graduate, but 20% discount for friends and family.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being on, and I hope to have your own episode. We all love you so much.
Big facts. Love you guys. I'm going to keep watching from over here. I'm at my last.
Do you want to give your plugs?
Yes. Follow me on Instagram, Henny Roc, with 3 C's, ROCCC. Follow me on TikTok. I just made an account for my dogs. It's going viral. I'll send it to Sam. And if you ever need any legal advice, I don't know what my thing is going to be, but something, the Maldo Group, LLC. Stay tuned. Goodbye, guys.
Bye. Jesus, my arm hurts from holding up that phone. That was great. I really wish she was here.
Her vibe.
That does. We have a running joke behind the scenes that, like, if I don't break, like, the breakup has to, like, guests always bring up that I was broken up with, and it's like we can never get out of it. But it is true. I'm happy that Genesis and I are still friends, because she probably does know a lot of dirt about me.
That's the only reason. Right. Yeah. That, talk about good vibes. She is like, she holds it down for sure.
I didn't know that verbal contracts were that binding.
Isn't that crazy? This is a self-help podcast. You learn shit.
Smarty pantses.
You learn shit on this.
No, neuroscience, lawyers.
It's so weird. Business major. We're all smart.
She said, laugh my ass off. I know some shit, but I like to keep shit separate. No, I feel like I am a different person. If we're gonna go back, we can get serious or silly. I love both, and I'm happy that we can do it. But pre-quarantine and post-quarantine, I'm a different person. I didn't know how to deal with my shit. I didn't, and I might, like, I still am working on stuff, but, like, I'm on a path now. Like, I'm a train on a track, and it's not going anywhere. Like with working out. People like to do fad diets, right? Like, people like to be like, I'm going to eat healthy for 30 days. Yeah. But there's no end goal to being healthy. That's something I learned from David Goggins. And I think that's, like, one of the most important things I learned is, like, when I work out, it's because there's no end goal. Like, you're not working, like, you're working out because that's you're not going to die sooner and how you're not going to be in pain for the last 30 years of your life. Like,
yeah, no, consistency is key when it comes
exactly. Like forever, like you have to pick shit up that you can do forever. Like, yes, I'm not going to be able to run forever because I'm 6'4", I'm heavy. Like there's a lot of pressure on my knees, but like I try to ride bikes, I do yoga. I'm trying to figure other stuff out too that I can do consistently throughout my whole life.
Yeah. Yeah. Pre-quarantine, I definitely didn't work out consistently. And then now I try to get out every day and at least do the minimum number of steps that is considered to be active.
Right.
So yeah. A healthy heart and stuff.
You go in dark places.
Yeah.
And you don't even realize you were for like how long you were.
I know.
You know what I mean?
It's like, what was I even thinking?
Bro, half the shit out.
Talk into your microphones.
Half
okay, not
the
that
shit.
close.
Half the shit that I used to think or say or do in college, I look back and go like, why? For why?
I cringe.
Right.
At some of the stuff I did.
I do too.
Yeah, I feel that. I really like hit a really low point after we graduated. Like probably like maybe like 3 months after we graduated, I hit a really low point. Like I was hanging out with people, like I didn't know where I belonged. It was really weird for me. Like I was really confused about things, and like I was living with Maya. For once, I was living with her, and I was really unhappy. And like, no offense to her or anything, like she had a boyfriend and she had a life, you know, but I was really lost. And, you know, I had just graduated and I felt super good about having 2 degrees and a really like a women's gender studies minor. And I was like, oh, there's a world of possibilities. But then all of a sudden, like, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing with myself. And then like, I was like, when I was living with her, I was like, damn, like, I'm not happy. Like, I don't even have my own place. Like, I'm living in somebody else's house. And then like, I finally like, I don't know, I just applied to a bunch of places and I finally found like a really good job and like an apartment that I could walk to work from it. And it just like all fell into place. And I was like, okay, wow. Like when shit like that falls into place, like after that, everything started falling into place. And when things like that happen, it's kind of like what you were saying. Like you just know that it's meant for you.
Have any of you ever read The Alchemist?
No.
Yes.
Yes. Things about it.
About the omens.
Yes.
And those are omens. And I really like, that's where some of my spirituality and where I realize when I look back at omens in my life and like when I ignore them and when I push them away and when I listen to resistance, I go down a path that leads me away from that and from my omens. And then when I listen to them and I realize, oh, I'm on a path that's not changing, that I know what I need to do, then the world keeps giving you more.
Yeah. And if you don't listen, it'll be the same cycle.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. Because when you don't study history, when you don't learn from history, it repeats itself, whatever that phrase is.
Yeah, that's it.
But it's true. It's like reincarnate time. We don't know what time is. We don't know what space is. Like reincarnation can be that. Like that when we go down a wrong path, we just keep living in it. And that's what it is. Like
I miss this so bad. I'm sorry. I just have to say, like, I really miss like the intellectual deep talks that like college used to bring, because honestly, like I'm in a space where I don't get that a lot. I work from home these days. I've been working from home since March. Like I don't hang out with anyone because of Corona. Like occasionally I'll see Maya and like we'll talk about super deep shit, but to the point where I'll have to be like, okay, Maya, stop talking.
I can't wait to have her on so we can talk about that shit.
Yeah, no, sure.
No, but we're a family in that way that like we can. And that's why I love this podcast and how this is God's given me to this, is because, and I know I sound like a crazy person and I'm also doing it for the joke a little bit, but I'm also being serious where it's like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
You don't sound crazy. Sounds great.
And I'm so happy that you guys are my friends and that we haven't seen each other in a year and a half and 2 years maybe, like, and we're all here and we get to do this and then we get to put this out and then think about in 10 years watching this episode. seeing where we are in life. And then I'm going to have this. This isn't something I'm giving up on. And I'll have you like
10-year reunion.
I want to have you on all the, but you know what I mean? It's like,
for sure.
I like knowing that I'm going to have something to be able to look back at and be like, oh, that's what I was thinking at that time. That's where I was in that point in my life. And also it gives me something that I have to keep pushing for. Like I have to do it every week. Like I can't slack. And I know I'm talking a lot and I apologize.
Talk it up.
That's how I feel with my music too.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about your music? Because you talk into the microphone, but you're a very talented singer.
Thank you. I only have 2 songs out right now, but
do you want to plug them right now before we talk about them?
Tom Hardy by Xena, XENA.
So good.
And in November, I went by Xena because I felt like Sydney was such a basic name, and I was like, I'm not trying to rep that. But yeah, with my music, I just wrote about heartbreak, and it's so interesting to look back, and I don't feel like that at all. I in no way resonate with that feeling, but it's always interesting to look back. And I didn't make music for a while because I couldn't afford to go to the studio, and I don't have a producer, so I have to buy beats online or get free beats, but like the free beats off YouTube and BeatStars like aren't always the best. So I kind of took a break from that, and I've gotten back into it recently, but like I didn't sing for so long because I was in like an apartment where people could hear me if I were to sing, and I didn't really feel comfortable with that. So I tried to sing like last month, and it sounded so bad. Like I was cracking like every 2 seconds, but I'm trying to get back into it, exercise my voice. It is a muscle, and get back into the studio with a few dollars I do have.
Yeah, it's tough. You're right, like taking a break and then that's how I felt when I got back on stage for the first time. I was like, oh, I'm rusty. Like my jokes weren't working. Like it's because they were before. Like they were all before, and I had to work at it a little bit, and it took like a month or 2. But now I'm better than I ever was. But it's like that's the resistance. It's like even if you get shittier, that's even more reason to push forward and work harder.
Yeah.
I think this is the quietest Julio's been all weekend.
Suck my dick.
He's back.
I'm just absorbing everything that's going on right now.
But you did, I see a yoga mat in the back of your car. Do you meditate at all?
I do. I've actually struggled with meditation.
It's hard. It's a practice. It's something you can't exactly. Headspace. Sure. I wish Headspace sponsored me, but I don't even care because they're the best app, and they changed my life, and that was shown to me.
For sure.
Yeah.
I do meditate. My counselor was like, yeah, you should meditate. I want you to like go and look. And he was like, I don't even care if you look at 30. He was like, actually look at 30 and find which one you like the best. And I did. But it was really hard for me when I first started meditating because it focuses on your breathing, obviously. And my breathing was something I didn't want to think about because of like, my heart issue. Like I felt like I was having heart issues and like the fast heartbeat, and like thought my breathing was abnormal. And so it was a huge struggle for me. And now like I've overcame that, but and I love meditating. Like it
really helps.
But even like it's just like a bunch of stupid shit. Like when you hear affirmations, like you are enough, like all of that stuff. Like
at first it's weird.
It seems really weird, but that shit is great.
It's like I do yoga. I use Sean Vigue Fitness, who Sean Vigue was actually on my podcast. Shout out. I use Sean Vigue, and then I use Sarah Beth, who's more relaxed. Sean Vigue's more power yoga. But like I say namaste at the end of my videos, and I feel zen. It's real. Like the affirmations do feel weird, but like it's worth it. Do you do anything to work on yourself, Julio?
I like to laugh.
I just write in my journal, to be honest.
You journal?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't it like a crazy experience? I never did it growing up. So when I did it, I was like, am I talking to, like, who am I talking to right now?
It's oddly enough. Like I'll write. Like,
hey, talk into your mic, please.
Like I'll be super pissed off and then just write up into it. And it's like, it's really It's like all that feeling just gets dissolved into the paper. It's crazy. But I can't talk to a therapist, which I haven't really felt comfortable doing since Corona. Like,
I Zoom counsel.
Yeah, I need to do that.
It's pretty good.
I should probably try that. But I just
And
like
it does work for everyone.
I like being
Yeah,
I like being in person with somebody. To
I
like,
feel that. But I like
energy.
being on my couch and like holding a pillow. That sounds weird, but it makes you feel a little bit more like what's the word? Comfortable, but like what is it? Your inhibitions are down a little bit. Like
right.
just because you're in your own you're in your own comfy space.
I just got a text.
What's the text?
I'm not going to talk about who it's from, but I want to ask you guys because this is so weird. It's a girl thing.
Okay. I was like,
girls flirt so weird. Like girls don't know how to flirt.
Don't ask me about this. I'm so bad at
Right? Do you send
I don't know.
I'll have girls send me texts of other guys flirting with them, and that's kind of like it's. I feel like it's
jealous type of stuff.
I think it's like a cat bringing you a dead mouse. Like it's like, look, I'm not answering that.
Yeah.
Like here's like an offering, but it's like that's not how you flirt. Like that's not how it works.
I don't know, cause like I feel like I would only do that if I was with somebody and I was like it was so awkward. Like this guy tried to hit on
You're a
me.
flirt.
Yeah, I am. So
Is Kiana a flirt?
Yeah, that's a big flirt.
Oh, you guys are both flirts?
Shut the fuck up. I'm probably the biggest flirt here though.
You should follow each other on
Sure.
Instagram.
He's for sure the biggest flirt in the room.
I'm like I have absolutely no fear of striking out.
Yeah, he does it a lot.
I have absolutely no fear. You can't. Steph Curry's missing
He's
some
holding it even worse than it was before. You have to hold it. Why would you ever do that?
I'm comfortable
Why would
holding
you
it.
ever do that?
Bro, I'm really comfortable holding it like this. Like I'm saying, Steph Curry's missing some 3-pointers.
Genesis said, not the bad flirting skills. These hoes need a lesson. They really do, though. Like girls don't.
Relate to bad flirting.
I also, oh my God, when like you tell a girl you don't want a relationship, you're very upfront. And then that makes them want it more.
You always want what you can't have.
Exactly. And then they get in a relationship right after.
Oh.
You know, because it's like girls get what they want. If they want a relationship, they're gonna get it with someone.
Well, you just wasn't ready.
That's why I feel like I'm
No, but if sometimes like when people are just like, I just need someone right now.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm too direct. I'm like, so what's up? Like, what's going on here? Like,
I don't know.
You trying to leave?
Are you direct? I've never thought of you as direct.
That's because I've never been like.
She's
I mean,
subtle.
in that way, like I've never been like that with you.
That's not. I'm getting crushed on my own show. That's not what I meant. I've been with you for 6 years. I've seen you, and I've never seen you be like.
Have you guys really talked about relationship shit when it comes to Sid?
No.
Okay.
Never.
So
I don't know. I'm talking out of turn at this point. I just feel like I have to backpedal, but I won't. I'm going strong. I have to power forward.
No, but back to what you said about like if you tell like a girl you don't want to be in a relationship, it's always
Sid
you
mad
always
now.
want what you can't have. Like
Is Sid
in a
pissed?
lot of unless you just don't want it. Like, but if you didn't want him, you wouldn't be asking about the relationship. So, but like I don't.
Julio
I can't
knows what I'm
relate to the
talking about. You know what I'm talking about?
On to the next.
All right,
person.
Julio knows what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
What I do too.
Yeah, I'm about to say we all agree. Absolutely, yes.
There's a song called Flirt by Royce da 5'9" and 2 Chainz, produced by DJ Premier, called Girls Don't Know How to Flirt. You should listen to it because it's true.
It's just be such an awkward flirt. No bullshit. That's just when I didn't have confidence in myself. That's when I looked like freshman year of college probably. But that's like
I think like sometimes when you look at who you've been with, it like can help your ego too. Like low key. Like when I look back at a lot of people I've been with, I'm like, all right, like I'm not disappointed. And then I mean there's a few times where you're like, I was young and dumb. Like but like I think that helps your ego a little bit. Like it's like, all right.
Regardless of who I've been with, I know. Regardless of who I've been with, I know I'm cute. So it's like,
yeah, major light skin vibes right now.
I don't need anybody to come.
He's gonna start harmonizing.
Yeah.
Guys, we're gonna have a fun rest of our night too.
Facts.
This is just the beginning of the party. Thank you guys for being on so much.
Of course.
Are we done?
Yeah, we've done like an hour and a half.
I wanted to do one more thing.
Yeah, do
like
one.
I'm the host of the show for
You are the host.
I'm
All right.
co-hosting. Okay.
All right.
I wanted to follow Henny's lead and kind of just like maybe we could say something that we appreciate about each other that doesn't take 10 years.
Shit.
I don't know. I feel like she kind of summed it up.
Oh, okay.
In a good way for me, but what do you want to say?
Oh, I'm going first. Okay.
This is your dumb idea.
Henny, did you hear he called your idea dumb? Okay. So I'll start with Sid. I don't know. Like, I just feel like Sid definitely always comes with the vibes. Like I just feel like I can always talk to you about anything. And like I really feel like you are like a calming, person for me. And like, I don't know, like you're not like high maintenance. It's just, and yeah, just the vibes just there.
Thank you.
As sweet, like just your soul is sweet. Julio, I don't know. You kind of bother me, so I'm gonna say no. I'm just kidding.
Genesis just gave me her negative. She said I stay talking out my ass.
I have a lot of negatives for you too, so maybe I should just skip. No, I like the fact that Julio is like really able to, like, he can get handed a bad situation or like, and he's just always able to overcome it. Like, okay, say like, even if somebody's being like rude, you're able to like put that shit to the side and like act like it doesn't faze you. Like how people act, like it's just like, oh, whatever.
It doesn't.
That has
true.
nothing
You're
to
very
do with
true
me.
to yourself. Like you know who you are.
That's
he's not gonna change regardless of like how, if somebody's like, oh, you're being super annoying. Okay.
Right.
Like I'm not gonna stop being annoying.
Like Gabby was like, who was annoying me? I was like, you want a cookie, nigga? Good, like the
Sam, I just feel like I've had so many deep moments with you that like I can talk to you about the deepest shit and like know that like you're gonna hold that shit. Like I have like cried to you and like talk to you about the most intimate things in my life. And like you hold that shit like really well, and I know you would never like, like treat my trust.
You're not.
I got you.
Either. Like,
no, and he always understands like where you're coming from. You can always see like, okay, let me take a step back and understand where you're coming from. And every issue that we've ever had, we've been able to overcome. And like I said before, when we argue or whatever stupid little shit we do,
we
like,
bicker like an old married couple.
Yeah, but like 2 minutes later, it's like, all right, you trying to go eat?
Mhm.
Like, what's up?
Yeah, go read the Bible.
Yeah, not anymore for me. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
That was nice.
That was nice. Thank you.
Who's next, guys?
Oh yeah, I thought you said you weren't gonna take 10 years.
Sorry, I can't do it. I could say
I'll go.
more.
I'll go. I'll stop. Sid, I did appreciate how like even when we started at We and you were like that one person I feel like I can come to where just some calm energy, some goofy energy. I feel like you're like the one black person I knew in the whole group that we could talk about like Rick and Morty or some nerdy shit or some cartoon shit, some viral shit that make me happy. I'm not saying like y'all don't watch it as much, so it wouldn't make me want to talk to y'all, but like there's times where like I'm really into my whole like goofy internet type shit. You know the vibes when it comes to that. So it's like you was super easy to talk to and you also super easy to just be around. It's like your vibe is just mad zen.
Thank you.
Kiana always keeping it real with anybody she with. It might piss people
Especially
off. Especially
food workers.
Yo, especially. It might piss, her attitude might piss you off at sometimes, but it's real and it's genuine. And besides that, she's actually a very caring person. Like,
Besides that.
like, she gives off very much.
I'll hurt your feelings, but I care.
She gives off nurturing vibes and it's like, and it's real. Like, there was many times where I needed that shit and you delivered. So, You might be one of the most annoying people I know, but you're one of the realest at the same time.
I'm one of the most annoying.
It's me. It's me. Like, I'm special annoying.
I appreciate that, Julio.
And you just don't back the fuck down ever. Like Jesus Christ.
Ever.
Even when I feel like even when you know
that's why you and I fight so much. It's because we both
Sam
don't.
wants me to submit, and I'm like,
there's times where
you
I
submit.
There was so many times where I submit. I'm like, you know what? This is stupid. I want to smoke. Like, let's just.
No, there's been several times where I've just won because Julio was just like,
no, there was.
Not dealing.
I'm not doing this. Like, this is dumb.
Or I would try to leave the room, and he'd be like, just forget it. Just sit down. Like, where you going?
That ass is like, where the fuck you going? You complain about doing all that walking down the twat,
and you're gonna go home.
Right? I'm like, you finna go home?
Yep.
I'm like, sit down. You're being ridiculous.
Yeah.
And Sam is one of the only white people that I genuinely trust in my life. Like, this dude has seen it all with me. He heard it all through me. We've been through a lot. I know a lot about him. This dude is always trying to work on himself. That's something I can always appreciate. He's always got a new story about something new that he's doing. He's always got something new about, like, just something new in his life. And on top of that, he really knows what he wants in life. And he doesn't let anybody steer him away from that. Like, he's the only nigga that I know will drive 2+ hours to Boston every Wednesday or twice a week just to go see a comedy show. Something that just
every day.
Right. That ass. He don't even be performing in the shows every day, but he's performing at Mohegan Sun. Why? Because he went to these shows every day, studied the material, and worked on his craft. Something that a lot of people at his age don't feel like doing. And he did that while going to school when not wanting to. Feel me? So, like, that's one thing. Like, when I transitioned from finance to education, I dead ass used you as a stable head of inspiration, because, like, you really know what you wanted and you went after it. So it made me not afraid to get after what I wanted.
That's real.
Right.
I appreciate that. Damn.
Push.
I'm speechless.
I took a long time. No, that was cute. I liked that.
Sydney, I don't know how you put up with all of us. We're so high energy and we're all crazy and we all like.
Oh, but you're also not.
Our energies all like clash and you're just like.
Our energies all clash.
You're calm, like, and you don't.
I don't see it like that though. That's why.
I know, but you're like, you keep it, as Julio said, like, you keep it cool, calm, and collected, even when we're all crazy people fighting. And I appreciate that. And I think you, like, I don't think we would be able to do, like, we would all just be like
beefing constantly.
Yeah, like we wouldn't be able to do it, honestly. Like we need that energy.
You're a staple of the group.
Yeah.
You are a glue.
Kiana, you're like my sister. Like you literally,
Sister?
I can't say that. I can't say the A. I'm an ER guy.
Okay.
Sister. I'm a sister. We're talking about the word sister. No, you are. I'm an only child, but like you're my sister and I fucking love you and we fight so much, but it's only because I know that nothing will ever like break that. And that's why I push your button so much, is because you and I are fucking like, I love you.
It's like saying I'm in a relationship with this girl and I cheat on her and I treat her like shit because I know she's never going to leave. Like what?
Wait, I'm getting flagged.
I'm an abused girlfriend at this point.
That's
Sorry.
not true. You abuse me too.
I want to.
I ask.
Turn off the camera.
Keep it on. All right.
Brought to you by Coca-Cola.
And Julio, I feel weird because it's pretty much the same thing with Julio. He's like a sister to me.
Suck my dick.
No, but like
important as me.
Suck my dick from the back.
No, I've known Julio. I love Julio and he's seen me go through a lot and he's fucking always just like dealt with it and fucking we've grown and I love seeing him do his shit and it's crazy seeing him grow. And we are like, he's like a brother to me. It's weird being an only child like that because I don't have like weird connections like that. But like, I feel it and I fucking love you and there's not stuff that can like, that's why we're a family. There's nothing that can sway any of me from like, I love you guys. And I'm happy that even when time passed, the second we got together, it was like nothing changed. Literally the second. Exactly. And I like that Julio changed another way of holding his microphone.
What is that?
Get ready to rumble.
And I love all of you so much, and I can't wait to spend more time with you tonight.
What Well, I feel like everyone already summed up like how
Did you not do
I
it?
didn't go, but
I'm not
just to like
skipping up.
sum it up, like
That's trash.
Kiana, like Genesis said, you are one of the most loyal people that I've ever encountered, and you've seen me really act like the most craziest
I love
and
crazy.
illogical person, though. But I was really tweaking, like sometimes,
I love crazy shit
and
though.
you still stuck by me, and you didn't judge me,
Big
and
facts.
I love that. So
Love you.
thank you. And Julio, like I said, I love how you're true to yourself. You always make me laugh, and you know who you are, and that's something that I admire, because I realize sometimes I don't know. I'm only 23 and I'm creating myself. I'm not necessarily in my last form, but I really like how you know who you are, and not that you're not going to grow, but you are confident in yourself. And Sam, same thing. I love how you're true to yourself. You're hilarious. You always make me laugh, and you are steadfast on your path, and that's inspiring. So thank you.
I appreciate that, man. I love you all. You can follow me at Sam C. Buck on Instagram. You can like, subscribe, find this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Do you guys want to give your plugs? Because I just want to have a big hug after this podcast is over.
Yeah, so I'm Zena Ariel on Instagram, XenaAriel. Follow for some tunes.
I'm Kay Chelsea on Instagram. KAYS. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. KAYCHELSEY. I gotta go.
You already know the vibes. It's Papi Cantu.
Big light skin vibes.
PAPICANTU. Papi Cantu. Hit
He's
that
like,
follow button.
I'm gonna make sure I spell this right.
Exactly, because you already know the fucking vibes. I
love you all. Check it out next week. Like, subscribe. This has been a Bucked Up podcast. Bye.